Hello! This week's writing strategy is writing in itsy bitsy steps. And I drew a little picture here of a spider to help us remember that writing in itsy bitsy steps is all about writing in little tiny steps, kind of like those little small ones that a spider might take. So to help explain this, I'm going to bring in what we call a mentor text. And students might remember reading this book at school. It's called Night of the Veggie Monster. So I'm going to read it really quickly before we begin, and then use this book to explain what writing in itsy bitsy steps is all about. So Night of the Veggie Monster by George McClements. Something terrible happens every Tuesday night. It's not the pork chops or the mashed potatoes. It all starts when I'm forced to eat. Dad says time for another fun-filled hour. He's forced to eat peas. A whole 3 tonight. My parents act as if I'm making it all up, but I'm not. I wonder how soon before he starts. Oh, it should be any minute now. They have no idea what one tiny pea does to me. With just the slightest touch, it begins. And we're off. I wonder what's beginning. My fingers become all wiggly. I knew he would start with the fingers. As the pea rests in my mouth, my eyes begin to water. My toes twist and curl up in my shoes. That's a new one. I squirm in my seat. I try to keep control, but the pea is too strong. I start to transform into a veggie monster, ready to smash the chairs, ready to tip the table, ready to eat pork chops tonight. What is he ready to do? Go. I swallowed the pea. I actually swallowed the pea. It tasted all right, really. Quite a performance this evening. I particularly enjoyed the toe curling. Well, I guess peas are okay, but there is still a danger. Because tomorrow is Wednesday, and on Wednesday we have broccoli. Here we go again. So in Night of the Veggie Monster, if we really think about what George McClements was writing about, he wrote about eating one pea. That was the whole premise of the story, was eating one pea. And he wrote it in itsy bitsy steps because it was first this, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more. He wrote it bit by bit. So he could have probably just written, I didn't want to eat the pea, but then I did and it was okay. But that would have made a really boring and dry story. So instead, in writing it bit by bit, he was able to write a more interesting and descriptive and really hooking story. When we read this book in class, the kids were all wanting to know what comes next because he wrote little bit by little bit by little bit. So this week in your writing, you are encouraged to write in itsy bitsy steps. So just a little bit at a time rather than a bigger chunk. And that way you'll probably find it even easier to write about a whole lot more. Your stories might get a little bit longer when you just take the time, slow down, think in little itsy bitsy steps, kind of like the Itsy Bitsy spider. All right, I can't wait to see what your writing looks like when you send it in. Bye!